Today I'm doing crack user in the 80s epic interview. I am currently sick, that's why the tea and honey next to me, but as you might have noticed, I can't put down my current addiction, so I feel like it's a good time to watch something like this. It got recommended to me on the YouTube homepage, so let's watch this 10-year-old video. Yeah, wait, I'm sorry. 30-year-old, 40-year-old. Fuck, it's from the 80s. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay.
Bob Williams, a crack user, called me years ago and asked me to interview him.
The reason I called you was I felt that the story of crack had to be told in such a way that people would see its effect, its devastating effects on the young people of our communities. My own personal experience with crack has been one of how could I say, complete madness.
Let's just talk about everything he said for a minute before he says more. First off, he asked for the interview. Kind of insane. I never would have guessed that. If they didn't tell me, I would have assumed that they had to go out and find this gentleman, but no. He is an advocate for not doing crack. Who does crack?
Say that again, please.
My first 9 months of involvement with crack, I've spent over $50,000.
$50,000.
$50,000.
Where did you get this kind of money from?
Well, some of it was money that I had saved up. I was currently working as an engineer for a communications firm, earning $35,000 a year. I would spend my entire paycheck in one night on crack. So after my pay was gone, I would go to the bank and I started to deplete my savings.
Dripped out dude in the NASA gear, well-spoken, intelligent, had a good job, still ended up on crack. It just goes to show that could happen to anyone. For real, addiction is no joke. It is not something you can just think your way out of, like, I know not to do that.
Who turned you on to crack?
An old girlfriend of mine.
Not a current girlfriend, an old girlfriend.
And she bought some crack. And we went back to her place, and she began to smoke and asked me if I wanted to try it. So at first I was a little bit reluctant, but then I said, all right, well, I'll give it a try.
Now this man talks about his experiences with other drugs. I'm not going to show the whole video, so you click over if you're trying to see that. But what I do want to talk about is how he mentions Hollywood parties, because yet again, what gets you into these things? Girlfriend parties, it's social, bro. Just the idea of that's usually where it's coming from, you know? Is weed a gateway drug? No, the friends are.
You say the Hollywood set. Without naming names, what kind of scene did you get into out there?
Well, I attended parties in Hollywood where cocaine was passed around in bowls like they were hors d'oeuvres. They were all kinds of different brands of marijuana, reefers, whatever you want to call them, in 5-pound cigar boxes. And it was just like you were at a party, but the hors d'oeuvres were drugs.
And you just dived right into this whole set.
Well, not really. I just kind of eased into it. And once you do, you know, it was the in thing to do. And all of Hollywood was, you know, was ablaze with it. So if you didn't, you were more of an outcast, I guess, than if you did.
And then you came back east. I came back east. I hadn't heard about crack yet. Still hadn't heard about crack yet. I think Richard Pryor's experience has really opened up a lot of people's eyes to what freebasing was all about. And crack is just more so a marketing technique by the pushers. They package it pretty well these days. It makes it a little bit more appealing, but it's basically the same thing.
And so you say that after that first night of $60, you went back to the bank. The next one, it was
always under about 400. And my checking account was consistently overdrawn. I would go to the cash machine and take out my maximum for the day. And I would go to
This man was making more money than I've ever made in my life and spending it all on crack. That's not judgment. I'm like kind of impressed. It reminds me of that meme. Like, you ever see a crackhead say, you know, I'm too broke to do crack today? Crazy. Oh, fuck.
This is the $35,000 a year job.
Yes.
With an expense account?
Yes.
Car?
Yes.
And you just blew it.
Just like that.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I have a portable skill which I could go out tomorrow and get another job if I wanted to. I
is
feel
that?
bad about it. Well, I'm into electronics and telecommunications, and I've been in the telecommunications industry about 9 years now. So when I'm not working full-time for an employer, I work for myself, doing consulting and other jobs.
I guess we should also note that he was making this money in the 80s, so like he would have been well off.
Am I to conclude that you're finished with it?
No, don't conclude that.
Am I to conclude that you're finished with it? Do not conclude that. This man said it with a smile. He knows he's going to do crack. I'm sorry. I'm fucking dumb.
I probably now, on the average, spend $100 a day.
It's about 2 o'clock now. Have you had any today?
Not yet. But
Yet?
Not yet. But you can believe when I leave here, it's probably be my next stop.
At about this point in the video, we're 6 minutes in. The interviewer starts kind of digging into the guy. He's told enough of his story that now the interviewer's like, why are you doing crack?
Hey, you're a well-educated man. You have some experience in engineering.
Yes.
You have earning power, obviously.
Right.
Why would you be fooling with this stuff? You can stand by and see what's happening to your own life, can't you?
I used to say the same thing. I used to witness people, and even people who were close to me, have their lives destroyed by it. And I used to witness people sit in these places and spend their last penny. And I say to them, how could you do such a thing, you know? But once you have tried it, you become the anchor banker, you understand. It's that much of a feeling or a sensation that it causes. It has wrecked lives, careers, broken up homes. It's just something you can't really describe.
Now we get to the reason I made this video. We haven't tried crack. There's a pretty good chance anyway. I don't know. Maybe you did. I'm not judging you, nor am I judging this guy. We're trying to make an environment where we don't judge people, because how is this guy supposed to ask for help? You know what I mean? Like, that's the idea of those loops, because it becomes something that you'll get arrested for, something that you'll hide, something that will destroy your life. But if you could ask for help, if there wasn't so many stigmas and things around it that keep you from reaching for that, we could potentially save a lot of lives. He would witness other people in his life get their life destroyed by this thing, and he had no reference or understanding. And then he tries it, and guess what? Now he's one of those people. It's a sickness. We're not trying to blame people. I'm sitting here laughing at this interview because they called it epic, but that's really not the point. The point is to get the perspective on something that we don't understand. This guy would give his entire livelihood for a feeling. I'm not asking you to go try crack and figure it out. I'm just saying we can do that with this video in like a diet version. Understand.
The anchor banker, you understand. If whatever money you have in your pocket, you walk in there with, you're not going to walk out with it. So
How much do you have on you now?
A little over $200.
And you're going to blow all of that?
In about an hour and a half.
In about an hour and a half. No. He has this shit scheduled.
What's the most you've used in a day?
The most I ever spent was $1,300 in 6 hours.
$1,300.
$1,300 in 6 hours.
$1,300 is still bigger than my biggest paycheck period, and I got paid at every job on a 2-week basis.
I can't even describe it. I defy anyone to try and tell me it's not the most pleasurable thing that they've ever experienced in their life. However, I would never tell anyone to take it. But once they have, I dare them to tell me that it's not the best feeling they've ever had.
He would never tell you to try it. He's warning you. But if you did try it...
You love it, don't you?
Well, I don't know if I'd say I'd love it, but
well, if it's the best feeling you've ever had, you know what most people automatically think.
Right.
And it's better than that?
Yes. It's better than that.
Then you must love it.
It's nice.
He says it's better than that? What's he talking about?
Now, I'm going to come down hard on you. Crack has made you its punk, hasn't it? It's got you running. It's got your nose open.
Right.
And it's your master.
Yeah.
You admit that, just like that.
Sure. Some people won't. I know a lot of people who are undercover crack users or in the closet, but I have no qualms about saying that.
Just to be clear, I relate to this. I did the same thing with weed. Someone called me an addict the one time. I was like, I get on my knees and beg right now. I'm addicted. I don't care. Are you going to share? And I think that's an important thing to note because, like I said, I am dealing with a sickness right now. I'm still reaching for the bomb. And there is things in our life that we have, fallen into like a trap. And to pull yourself out of it is fucking difficult. But the criticism that this guy gives him, talking about crack like it made him his bitch. I'm like, this man still was able to be honest enough to show up and tell his story in such a way that it's like, don't go out and do this, not, an advocate for it. Like, it's crazy that he's coming down on him like, you're a bad person, when clearly this man just needs help.
Do you know anybody who uses crack and controls crack rather than vice versa?
No. Crack is the boss. They will make you crack up. Crack is the boss. When you take that hit, that second voice that starts talking to you is now in control. You're not yourself anymore.
You get up in the morning and that's the first thing you think about?
Sometimes I dream about it.
He has some of the snappiest little comebacks, like the one that in about an hour and a half. He said, sometimes I dream about it. The interviewer was just...
In going to these crack houses, you've probably seen some horror stories. You probably have a whole list of them, don't you?
Well, unfortunately, I do. And I've seen some people as young as, I would say, probably 16, 17 years old. I have been in a crack house on occasion where a young girl came in with her father, and she couldn't have been no more than 16, 17 years old. And she says, no, Daddy, it's my turn to buy. I've been in a crack house where I saw a girl in a Catholic school uniform come in, and she couldn't have been no more than 16 or 17 years old. And she bought some cracks and left. And she didn't even go home and change clothes first, or even send someone else for her. She came herself. I've seen telephone repairmen, equipment and all, in crack houses. I've seen security guards in crack houses. I've seen transit workers in uniform in crack houses. And I guess it disturbs them not to be there because they are there sitting, smoking away. I've seen people come from New Jersey, go to a crack house.
One of the coolest parts of this whole interview is when he said, I guess it disturbs them not to be there. The idea that that has become the normal and now they're upset anywhere else where they can't get this feeling. And he's describing all these different people and all these different walks of life who really go through this shit, who he's really witnessed. And this is in the 80s, granted, we have other things now that we got problems with, but still happening in all of its form. Addiction is tough. I'm not trying to make light of it, man. I just don't know why YouTube recommended me this video.
Gas tank on empty and can't even get home. I've seen people go to lunch and never go back to work. I personally have smoked crack in Harlem Hospital in the ladies' room.
With the girlfriend of mine that used to work there.
I've seen women who will come to a crack house with their children and have them wait outside, 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Have the children wait outside?
Wait outside. Children 4, 5, and 6 years old are standing outside waiting for their mothers, and their mothers are inside smoking on this crack. I've seen a girl one day brought her baby to the crack house, and she was in such a rush to get high that she couldn't wait 20 minutes to cash her check. She pawned her child to the crack man and says, please give me a dime. I'll be back in 20 minutes, hold my baby.
Pawned her child?
Yes, for $10.
Bob Williams died not long after the interview I did with him. Bob Williams, a crack user.
Fuck. Bob Williams. God rest his soul.
I can't even describe it. I defy anyone to try and tell me it's the most pleasurable thing that they've ever experienced in their life. However, I would never tell anyone to take it. But once they have, I dare them to tell me that it's not the best feeling they've ever had.
Just for the record, I was wearing a shirt earlier, but I took it off because I started using it as a tissue. And Every time I wear one of these shirts, I'm pretty sure God spites me for my hubris. Yeah, whatever. Okay,